Well, I just saw the new Supergirl movie, and well, unfortunately, it did not click with me. And you'll find out why in this spoiler review. The story of Supergirl was pretty simple. She celebrates her birthday by getting drunk in the Red Planet overnight, and then she ends up teaming up with a generic young girl that wanted revenge on the killer that murdered her family. And for how this story goes, it was both fast and slow-paced, and that counts with the backstories that they keep showing in this film. And you know what? That's exactly the same pacing issue that I felt in Zack Snyder, The Flash movie, and everyone hated that film, including me. Well, as for the characters, well, just to keep in mind, Supergirl is nothing like Superman at all. She's moody, reckless, and she is the truth, while her cousin is Hope, and that is something what the CW got wrong about Supergirl. They just made her too similar to Superman and didn't even acknowledge her actual personality, and I was so annoyed that they actually did that. But with that being said, what do I think about James Gunn's version of Supergirl? Well, she's a mixed bag. Well, her different personality from Superman was correct, but they just made her too over the top. So much so, I was thinking that Kara was acting more of a teenager, even though she is 22 in this universe. Well, although Kara just really got out of character at the end of the climax. Like earlier, she just told the girl, and she even told Lobo not to kill, but yet only she gets to kill the villain. And I was like, huh? Like Kara was literally over here talking about revenge is not the answer, do not kill and all that crap, but yet only she has the right to kill the main villain at the end. So what I thought she meant by no killing, I thought it's herself included, but no, she's was like, oh, nobody kills but me. So for that, I really think they should have communicated with the audience with that scene a little better. Well, it's not just only that, Supergirl was literally acting like Henry Cavill Superman, going out of character and killing Zod at the end of the climax, and I don't need a reminder of that piece of crap of a scene. Yo, if you don't have a problem with Supergirl killing villains, then you are not a true fan and you don't understand the character. Well, as for Ruthie, well, I didn't care for her. Well, I wanted to care for her, but unfortunately, this movie doesn't have time to. Like I said, she is just a generic young girl, but Lobo, on the other hand, he totally stole the show. Like Jason Momoa was killing it with his character. Like it was by far the best character that Jason ever played as. Even better than Aquaman. Well, I still enjoyed Jason Momoa as Aquaman in the Zack Snyder DC universe. But the big difference is that Jason Momoa version was never the one from the comics, so it was never the Aquaman comic accurate, to be specific. Well, given by Jason's personality, he fits more as Lobo, and it does make sense by the contrary, hands freaking down. Alright, the main villain, Grimm, well, I thought he was alright. he doesn't hold as much as a threat. His was just kind of jokey, just to be honest. Yeah, there's just nothing special about him. He's just fooling around this whole time. Well, the action of the movie, well, there's barely any. Yeah, this movie has way too much dialogue, and it was just less action, and I did felt bored because of that, and that is not a good sign. So, on that note, this movie does not have enough action, and it was not funny at all. Well, I know it's supposed to be a serious movie, but you could have at least throw some comedy elements to make the audience laugh, just to keep us entertained. But it doesn't have that factor. And the heck, even when Lobo made a impression, me and the audience still haven't chuckled a bit, and that would include my brother that I just watched it with. Well, the only part that I thought it was really funny is when Kara just called another alien Squidward because of how he yoked, but I found the joke to be funnier when Tony Stark do that.
Trespassing in this city and on this planet. Things get lost, Squidward.
And it all comes down to my inclusion. Well, overall, Supergirl just felt like a movie that doesn't need to exist. Well, like I said, I just seen it with my brother, and he felt the same way like I do about this movie. Well, it is not as bad as Zack Snyder DC movies, thankfully, but it is not as good as the first Superman movie. So with that, Supergirl gets a disappointing 6 out of 10. Oh man, Supergirl was in fact my most anticipated film of this year, but yet it did not exceed my expectation. Well, not only we just end up with an okay movie from James Gunn, we're about to get an uninteresting and grounded Green Lantern show, and plus a Clayface spin-off movie that looks like is about to be the same treatment as the Joker movie. Well, hopefully that James Gunn can just make it all up by giving us a great movie again next year. And after seeing Supergirl, I kind of wish that Supergirl would have more screen time in the first Superman now. They could like do the same story arc, but without outer space involved and all that stuff. And another thing is that I will be talking about this movie again when I make a comparison video. I sure hope how that hold up. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to my channel, and if you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me or not. My name is Isaiah Belfort, and I will see you guys next time.